Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking. And if you're not new here, what's up, bestie? And today, my name is Iggy, cause... So yes, it's been a while since you guys have seen me. I am so sorry for that. Hopefully I'm trying my hardest to be a lot more consistent. I'm just waiting for summer, to come. So then we can be together constantly and I don't have to worry about work all the time. But yeah, I'm back. By no popular demand. But over this time that I was gone, I was looking back at my Vine video, right? If you guys don't know what that is, please go check out my video about Vine and why it was so iconic and all that stuff and what was Vine. It's probably gonna be linked somewhere, anywhere, As I was watching that video, I thought about a lot of different things. And one of the things I thought about was, when did Vine come out? When was it like super huge? When was it like a whole thing? What was going on that year? And I was like, 2014. And then I was like, what the hell was 2014? And that is what this video is. So I want to talk about a few different things about 2014. At that era, I think it was like 13 or 14. So I was like a preteen, teenager, like a teenager kind of, I guess. I don't know what that would be classified as, but yeah. I think around 14 years old. And I just wanted to go into a few of the things that happened back then, just to remind you guys. And for any people that weren't really that old back then, like any teenagers now, this is what we were going through. This is the things we were listening to, the bull crap going on, the trends, all of it. So yeah, let's start off with the music. So 2014 had a specific sound. I always call it the doom 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 sound because every single song had this sound in it. I don't know why they all had that sound, but they did, and it was a thing. There was also the meteoric rise of Ariana Grande with her My Everything album and all the bops from it, such as Problem, Break Free, One Last Time, all those great things. And she was whipping her ponytail around for the first time. That had us all like, who is this girl? Well, we know who she is, but like, people that didn't know who she was like, who is this girl? This is also the year that Iggy Azalea kind of like rose to the occasion. Occasion? I don't know. But Iggy Azalea rose to the occasion this year with songs such as Fancy, Black Widow, Mediocre with T.I. This was Iggy and I would say Iggy and Ariana. This was she was also on Problem. Look at that. They like fused together for a whole like thing. But Iggy and Ariana, I constantly would hear them on radios all the time. Another person I would also hear all the time, of course, and I still hear her from time to time, but this was her year specifically, was Nicki Minaj. So this was Nicki's Pink Print era. This was also the era where she did songs with Beyonce, and she also did Anaconda. I specifically remember everybody going wild about the Anaconda video, whether it be parents being angry, whether it be kids just being wild about it, or people loving it. It's just Nicki Minaj. This was her era. Nicki, Iggy, and Ariana. I remember this being the year where I would hear all they stuff. I would hear people like Tinashe, Sage the Gemini. It was just 2014 was an interesting sound of music. But yeah, that was the whole sound of 2014. And then there was a specific group. This group was Fifth Harmony. So Fifth Harmony, I am not sure if this is when they first like stepped onto the scene or if this is when they were coming onto the scene, but I remember people being obsessed with this new girl group of Fifth Harmony and just being like, oh my gosh, like even this is the time I really first heard about them. I'm sorry to any Fifth Harmony fans that are like, actually they came in 2013, or actually they started getting big in 2015 or whatever. But this was the first year I heard about Fifth Harmony, and I remember I was like, let me see something. Let me double check something. I knew it. This is the first year I really heard about them, and honestly, Fifth Harmony had a very interesting career, I would guess. They had some performances like this.
I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't wearing up nada. I'm sitting pretty impatient, but I know you gotta put in the hours.
And with that, we're gonna leave the music category. But that was the music of 2014. But now let's go on to the trends. So 2014, of course, was the year that Vine was everything. Everyone was on Vine. If you weren't on Vine, what the fuck were you doing? That basically was like the whole vibe. And these are all the trends that came from Vine. So the first trend I wanna go over is the mad or nah.
Oh, hey, Dad.
Sit your ass down.
Okay, mad.
You will always hear people say, is you mad or not? That was like a whole thing. It used to annoy the shit out of me when a lot of kids in my school would do that.
Is you mad or not?
I'm like, can you not do that? Can you not be like stupid right now? Yeah, that I hated. Now that I think about it, I hated that trend. I hated that trend specifically a lot because kids would use it to their advantage to like piss you off.
And nigga, can I fight for bitch ass?
The next trend was Bye Felicia.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm just now realizing this as I'm editing this. That's Fifth Harmony. Them bitches was really responsible for a lot of shit, huh? So, you know, kids would constantly be like, bye Felicia, because it was a Vine. I forgot what Vine it was. I'm probably gonna put it in this video. If I don't, I'm sorry. But it was a Vine where somebody said bye Felicia.
Craig.
Bye, Felicia.
And it became the biggest thing for years. It was in movies, it was in shows, it was in songs, it was everywhere. I remember my mom started saying that at one point, and that's when I was just like, everybody, we're going too far with this. Let's leave Felicia alone. Let's let her lay in her grave. The next trend, of course, was Do It For The Vine. If you don't know what Do It For The Vine was, it's kind of self-explanatory. People be like, do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the Vine. It was like a whole dance too.
Do it for the Vine.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for the Vine.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for the Vine.
Gonna do it.
Do it for the Vine.
And then sometimes you'll like do it for the Vine, like get them on Vine, and then they'll do something like a backflip, or they'll splatter water all over themselves. It'll be something stupid. That trend was also a little interesting. The next trend, of course, was the Ronald McDonald crazy vid. Now, this wasn't a Vine video, this is on YouTube. And I remember everybody in my school at the time kept talking about this video, talking about go do the Ronald McDonald. I'm like, what's the Ronald McDonald? And then they would just go fucking crazy. Like, they would flip over tables and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? And one kid showed me one day, he's like, this is what we're all talking about. And I was like, and it was a video of Ron McDonald just going fucking wild, punching a kid in the face, flipping tables over, going crazy. And it was funny. It was funny at the time, I will say that. But it was interesting. The next trend was kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. I guess apps can also be a trend because like they're apps. And this was Kik. Kik was an app, like a messaging app, and I remember people always be like, "Oh, get on Kik and text me," or blah blah blah. I wasn't fortunate enough to really at that age to have a phone.
No, she's like right behind me. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, are you like poor? No, I'm like asking because like your mom drives the Dodge Caravan and you eat breakfast at school. Like, are you like poor?
When I did get a phone, like last quarter, it was like, okay, you know, there wasn't really much to do because it wasn't like the greatest phone ever. But kids will always be on Kik, and I know that was the thing. And I remember everybody was texting on it, and I wasn't really a part of that wave, sadly, because I was broke. So if you were a part of that wave, tell me in the comments how amazing it was to be on Kik. Another wave I didn't really get on was Oovo, or OOVOO. I don't know, or OVO. I don't know. Oovo. I think that's what they called it. And yeah, kids used to always be on that too, and I didn't have a phone, so. For people that do remember that, talk about it in the comments. The last trend. This is something I got to get on because my cousin had a phone and I lived with his family at the time. He constantly played this, and this was Flappy Bird. So Flappy Bird was an app at the time. You guys know what Flappy Bird is. Where you tap it and the bird like has to float, and many different variations of it. Thousands of iterations at this point. And yeah, Flappy Bird was a really fun game. It was awesome. It was great. It was a good time. It got canceled, or not canceled, it got deleted. I don't know. I honestly don't actually know the whole story of what happened to Flappy Bird. I know a little bit. Like, I've done research, but like, I don't know. Somebody drop it down in the comments below. What was the whole tea on that? But yeah, that's it for the trends. And now we're gonna move on to the scandals of that year. So that year, there were a lot of different scandals. The biggest one I would say no matter what we talk about, the biggest one was the Bill Cosby thing. You know, Bill Cosby was exposed for all of the things that he did to women, which was very, very awful. And that was a downfall of his career. That was a whole moment. I remember when first hearing about that, and even my family being like, whoa, what in the world? And it was very surprising to see somebody that was so loved on television and that so many people grew up with. I mean, I didn't really grow up with Bill Cosby because I never really, I didn't watch anything with him in it. But very crazy time. That was one of the biggest scandals of that year. The other scandal that was a huge scandal that to this day still gets referenced is the Beyonce, Solange, and Jay-Z elevator situation. So there was a video that came out. Basically, Solange went fucking UFC Black Widow on Jay-Z in an elevator. We still don't know what happened. We still don't know why this happened. Honestly, it's their business. I'm glad people left it alone. Kind of. People still reference it to this day. But yeah, elevator gate, that was a whole thing. That was a whole situation. And I'm gonna be honest, even though I'm like, we need to stay out their business, I still am fucking nosy, and I low-key am wondering what the hell happened to where she started kicking the shit out of this dude and getting at him. And then we also had our next like little scandal was Raven-Symoné and her not being African American. I have nothing to say about this. I don't like to get into this whole topic, honestly, because I'm just always like, I don't know. Sometimes I may feel one way, sometimes I may feel another way. My mind is very weird, but I will say I remember everybody, all the black people in my family having a whole thing like, what? She's not African American. And I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I guess that's her prerogative. I don't know. I really don't care. I was 14 too. I was stressed out over math homework. So, but for people that do remember that time, I'm pretty sure you remember that being a whole thing. And honestly, I remember hearing about a lot of this stuff because I started watching Wendy Williams at the time, and she was at an all-time icon high. I think 2014 was the year when Wendy Williams was the icon to go to hear her just talk shit about everything going on. And I know a lot of people have their issues with her, but I grew up with Wendy. I actually grew up, my mom used to watch her all the time, and I grew up with her. And honestly, I used to watch her all the time. I don't know how to really describe it. And I kind of miss actually watching her. It's just like, I don't understand a lot of the stuff going on nowadays, the drama, without hearing Wendy say it. And I haven't heard her say it, so it's like, damn. And this also was the year that Joan Rivers died. I don't know much about Joan Rivers, of course, because I just remember seeing memes of her at the time. And like, when I was younger, I used to hear people like say, repeat her jokes, of course. I don't know if it's like some whole like other scandal that happened with her, but I will say from what I knew, she was hilarious. So yeah, those are all the scandals. So now let's get on to the movies that came out that year. This was actually a pretty good year for movies. The first movie that I'm going to talk about is actually the most amazing Marvel movie ever. You may disagree with me. That's fine. You have your prerogative. But to me, this is still the best Marvel movie ever. It still has not been beat by anything. This is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I remember when it came out that year, this is when I truly became a Marvel fan. Beforehand, I was just like, okay, Marvel movies, yeah, every once in a while, I'll see them on, like, when they came out on DVD. That was me. But I was a person that would watch Marvel movies when they would come out on DVD. And honestly, this movie was what made me be like, I need to see this shit in the theaters. And everything after this, in theaters. Why is everybody texting me right now? My phone just keeps dinging. But yeah, everything, every Marvel movie that came out after Captain America: Winter Soldier, I went to go see it in theaters. Captain America: Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie ever, and I'm so happy I got to see it that year in the theaters with my dad, even though he was asleep next to me for like half of the movie because he was super tired, but it still was awesome. It was a great experience. The next movie I'm going to talk about is Maleficent, also known as Mother. If you guys don't know that Maleficent is Mother, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, bestie, you need to get it together. Maleficent is that bitch, and she is an icon. This was the year that I realized that cunty villains really needed to be lifted up from Disney. Like, Maleficent really got her shine on, and I remember being obsessed, and I was like, Disney, why did it take you so much fucking time to do this? And I'm waiting for the evil queen to get her fucking shine on with her own movie. And Ursula. I know we have The Little Mermaid coming out soon, but like, I don't know. I don't know if Melissa McCarthy is going to be cunty enough. We shall see. If you guys don't get what I'm saying when I say that, it's like a whole slang. I can't really go into it right now. please don't take offense. But yeah, the next movie we're gonna talk about is Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 was a very awesome movie. It was a fun movie. It was actually one of my favorite animated movies that I had ever seen at the time. It's still not beating Hercules Disney version. Let me just get that straight. But Big Hero 6 was a very great movie. I really loved it. Baymax is everything. I need to get a Baymax teddy bear, actually. I love getting teddy bears, as you guys probably see. I need to get a Baymax one. So we also have films such as Godzilla, Divergent, Maze Runner, Edge of Tomorrow, Gone Girl, Lego Movie, and of course the most iconic movie of all, Frozen. Now I know you guys are probably like, why did you go through all those? I really don't have any special thoughts about all those movies. The first few, I did have a lot of special thoughts to say, but everything else, they were great movies. This was a great year of movies, if I'm being real. So yeah, those are all the things that really went down in 2014, and that year for me, this is probably gonna be a little interesting, but I want to talk about that year from my perspective for a second. So for me, that was the year that my body dysmorphia started. That was the year I started seeing myself a certain type of way, gaining weight, hating, you know, starting that type of depression and getting that type of self-hate. And I have been growing out of it. I would say I'm very proud of where I am today versus where I was back then. And I am still growing every day. But yeah, this was a fun year to look back on. Should we do this again? Let me know. Let me know if we should do this again. Let me know what you guys think. Before I leave today, we're gonna do my suggestions of the day. My song suggestion of the day is Fancy by Iggy Azalea. Of course, because that song is so iconic and it's just everything. That's the yassification of a song. Like, if you had to have a song and be like, what's a yassified song? Fancy. My soul suggestion of the day is going to be Shameless. If you don't know what Shameless is, you can watch Shameless on Netflix right now, I think it's on Netflix. Don't quote me, but I think so. Check it out. Shameless is a pretty funny show. It's about this family basically living in, I forgot where they live, but basically they're living in a low income situation, and there's a lot of different storylines going on. It's a lot of stuff happening in that show. And honestly, I think you should check it out. Check it out. If you are old enough, I will say it is for older audiences, not really something for little kids. I don't think I have any child viewers, because every time I look at my viewer thing, my viewers are between the ages of like 18 to 25. So yeah, but you should check out Shameless if you haven't seen it. My movie suggestion of the week is going to be Evil Dead Rise. I just went to go see this, actually. If you like horror movies, okay, that's what I'm gonna say. If you like horror movies, go see this. This is amazing. If you're into horror and gore and scary stuff, and go see it. It's an amazing movie. It was awesome. It was fantastic. Loved it. If you're not into any of that, don't go see it, because you're going to be scared to death. You're probably going to have a fucking heart attack. This movie, though, was very great. And yeah, I don't have much more to really say about it. But thank you guys so much for clicking on this video and for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later. So yeah, bye.